Hi everyone, I'm Bubbles from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you a cute ice cream cone egg bag, puppy version. This product consists of two parts, the upper and lower sections. We start by crocheting the lower part. Once it's done, we move on to the upper part. Let's begin with the lower section. It includes the egg cone, the net bag, the drawstring, and the lace trim. Most of this product is presented in the form of a chart. Next, I'll first teach you how to understand the chart. In the table, R plus number indicates the round number, H plus number indicates the row number. Stitch instructions column shows the stitch techniques needed when crocheting that particular round, as well as the increase or decrease in stitches. The total stitches column shows all the stitches used in that particular round, shows the total stitches after completion. Now let's learn how to crochet the cone part. We'll use the magic ring technique. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The stitch patterns used include X single crochet, V 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Now, let's show. Take the corresponding color yarn. For convenience in watching, I will demonstrate with another color yarn. For specific yarn color schemes and crochet hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and paper instructions. Start with a magic ring. Then we'll work on the first round. Make 1 beginning chain. Crochet 4 single crochets into the large space of the magic ring. You can mark the first stitch if you like. If you can find the first stitch easily, you don't have to mark it. Use a stitch marker if you have one. If not, you can use a safety pin or paperclip instead. This won't be repeated later on. After crocheting, tighten the ring. Then join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet, which is the marked stitch. Pull tight. This completes the first round. Now let's move on to the second round. Make 1 beginning chain. Start with a 2 single crochets into the same stitch, in the same position as the slip stitch. While crocheting, weave in the yarn tail. Then continue to work 2 single crochets into the same stitch, into the stitches from the previous round. Work this round completely. After finishing, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. The side with the starting chain yarn tail is the wrong side. The other side is the right side. You can also place a marker on the right side for reference. When crocheting, always keep the right side facing out. This completes the second round. Now let's move on to the third round. Make one beginning chain. Next, work the stitches inside the parentheses as a group. Parentheses indicate that these stitches are worked together in one group. Times a number indicates the number of times to repeat the pattern. Start with the first group. Work one single crochet. Then make 2 single crochets into the same stitch. This completes the group in the parentheses. Continue working in groups. Crochet all the way down to finish this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Tighten the yarn. This completes the third round. Next, follow the chart and keep crocheting until you finish the sixth round. You will later encounter rounds where you crochet evenly. This means one stitch to another. The number of stitches after completing this round will be identical to the previous round. Please complete it on your own from here. After finishing, move on to the seventh round. Here, I'll demonstrate with the original yarn. Going forward, you need to watch while referring to the stitch pattern chart. Start by making one beginning chain. Work 3 single crochets first. Then work 1 front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. First, pick the first single crochet from round 5. Work an incomplete front post double crochet. Insert the hook from right to left on the front side. Insert into the single crochet stitch. Then pull the yarn through. Slightly enlarge the loop. Yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. That's how you finish one incomplete front post double crochet. Next, continue with round 5. Skip 2 stitches. Pay attention, there's a 2 single crochets into the same stitch here. That is, these 2 stitches. Then work another incomplete front post double crochet. Yarn over and draw through all loops. This completes the front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. Next, skip 1 single crochet. Then work 3 single crochets. After finishing them, work another front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. First, at the same insertion point as the second incomplete stitch of the previous front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. Work an incomplete stitch. Next, skip 2 stitches, then work 1 more. Yarn over and draw through all loops. This completes another front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. Now, continue following this method. Refer to the pattern chart. Work this round completely. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 7th round. Next, we will crochet the 8th round. Make 1 beginning chain. Start with the 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Then work 4 single crochets. Follow up with another 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Continue to refer to the pattern. Work this round completely. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 8th round. Next, we will crochet the 9th round. Make 1 beginning chain. Start with 2 single crochets. Then work 1 front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. Begin on the last front post double crochet, 2 stitches together of the 7th round. Work 1 incomplete single crochet, insert the hook and continue crocheting the entire stitch pattern. Next, on the 2nd front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. Work another incomplete stitch. Then yarn over and draw through all loops once. After finishing, skip one stitch. Work 1-2 single crochets into the same stitch. Then work 2 more single crochets. Next, work 1 front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. Pay attention and refer to the chart for inserting the hook. Finish by completing this round. When crocheting later, be mindful of the positions where some 2 single crochets into the same stitch are made. You need to work one of the stitches as a corresponding front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. That is, after completing the front post double crochet, 2 stitches together. There's no need to skip any stitches. Complete this round all the way down. After finishing, join with a slip stitch and tighten. This completes the 9th round. Next, everyone refer to the pattern chart. Work the 10th round evenly without increasing or decreasing. After completing it, move on to crochet the 11th round. Make 1 beginning chain. First, work 2 single crochets in sequence. Then, work a front post double crochet, pick up from the corresponding front post double crochet, 2 stitches together of the 9th round. Start by working an incomplete stitch into this stitch. Then yarn over and draw through all loops once. This completes 1 front post double crochet. Next, work 2 single crochets. Pay attention, there's no need for any skipped stitches here. Then continue by picking up the same position as the previous front post double crochet. Work another front post double crochet. Continue to refer to the chart and complete this round completely. After finishing, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 11th round. Next, let's work on the 12th round. First, take a look. Each stitch has 2 loops like this. The loop closer to you is the front loop. The one farther away is the back loop. For this round, we will be working into the front loops only. Start with 1 beginning chain. Then, pick up the front loop, and work 1 single crochet. Next, work 2 single crochets into the same stitch into the front loop. Continue to complete this round. After finishing, pick up the stitch, and work a slip stitch as usual. Tighten the yarn. This completes the 12th round. Next, let's work on the 13th round. Start with 1 beginning chain. For this round, you need to turn the piece before crocheting. Turn the fabric. Position the wrong side facing you. Begin by working slip stitches along the stitches. Note, the slip stitches here form an oval shape, meaning they should not be pulled too tight. After turning the work, the stitches will be positioned at the top left. Continue to finish this round. Pay attention. There is one more stitch, so don't miss it. After completing it, pick up the braid of the first slip stitch, and work a slip stitch. Tighten. This completes the 13th round. Next, we will crochet the 14th round. Make 1 beginning chain. This round also requires turning the work. Ensure the right side of the piece is facing you. Let's take a look. The braid closest to you belongs to the 12th round stitches. The braid farthest from you is the braid of the 13th round slip stitch. Follow along the braid of the slip stitch. Work single crochets into each stitch. Work this round completely. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 14th round. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. Up to this point, the egg cone is covered. Next, let's learn how to crochet the net bag. Continue crocheting upward along the corresponding round of the egg cone. The new stitch technique used here is double crochet. Now, let's show. Take the corresponding color of yarn. Let's take a look first. Behind the 12th round of single crochets, there are horizontal bars like these. Pick any stitch from the 12th round to join the yarn. Note: avoid picking up the remaining half stitches from the 11th round. Then work 6 chain stitches. Then skip 4 stitches. Continue by picking up a bar from the back. Work 1 slip stitch. Then work 6 chain stitches. Then skip 4 stitches again. Work 1 slip stitch. Continue repeating this process. Complete this round. After finishing the last 3 chain stitches, work 1 double crochet at the joining position to connect. This completes the first round. Now let's move on to the second round. Start with 6 chain stitches. For this round, work slip stitches into the chain spaces from the previous round. Work 6 chain stitches in between. Continue until you finish this round. After completing the last 3 chain stitches in the previous round, work 1 double crochet into the connecting stitch. This completes the second round. Next, everyone continue to refer to the pattern. Finish the last 2 rounds as well. The crocheting method is identical to the second round. After completing, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That concludes the net bag tutorial. Now let's crochet the drawstring. Take out the same yarn material used for the net bag. Crochet a chain braid of the corresponding length. Refer to the pattern for the exact length. My sample is shorter. After crocheting, leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters, then fasten off. Next, take the drawstring and thread it through the chain spaces of the last round of the net bag one by one. Finally, thread the yarn tail onto a sewing needle. Connect the ends of the chain braid to form a circle. Lastly, hide the yarn tails. Make sure to also hide the other yarn tail. That concludes the drawstring tutorial. Next, let's learn how to crochet the lace trim. We will also use the magic ring method. Crochet along the ring that you cast on. The new stitches used include half double crochet 3 stitches into the same stitch, double crochet 4 stitches into the same stitch, and half double crochet 4 stitches into the same stitch. Now, let's show. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Then, we'll crochet the first round. Make 1 beginning chain. Then crochet 4 single crochets into the large space of the magic ring. You can also mark it if you prefer, but I won't mark it here. After finishing, close the loop. Then slip stitch and pull tight. That completes the first round. Next, refer to the pattern and finish the second round. The working method is identical to the second round of a cone. After completing, move on to work row 3. Make 1 beginning chain, then follow the pattern chart for the stitch techniques. You don't need to slip stitch after finishing. This completes row 3. Next, let's work on row 4. Make 1 beginning chain, turn your work. Then refer to the pattern chart for the stitch techniques. After completing, row 4 is also done. Next, keep referring to the diagram until you finish row 7. Continue crocheting all the way through row 7. After completing, start working on round 8. First, transition the yarn to the third to last stitch of row 7. Pull up the loop to enlarge it, then pass the working yarn or fabric through the loop. Tighten it. Then draw the yarn through the corresponding stitch. After carrying the yarn is completed, then make 1 half double crochet 4 stitches into the last stitch. That means making 4 half double crochets in the same position. Once done, the half double crochet 4 stitches into the same stitch will be completed. Then move on to crochet along the edge. Here you can pick up 1-2 strands from the side to crochet. Or you can pick up stitches to crochet. Start with 1 slip stitch. Then make 1/2 double crochet, 3 stitches into the same stitch. That is, make 3 half double crochets in the same position. After finishing, crochet 3 slip stitches in sequence. After completing, move to crochet along the other side. Start with 1 double crochet placing 4 stitches in 1 stitch. That is, make 4 double crochets in the same position. After finishing, continue crocheting along the edge. When you reach the position of the last row, continue crocheting along the last row. After completing the last slip stitch, leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters and break the yarn. Join with the starting stitch. Consider the right side of this round as the right side of the fabric. Finally, hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. That concludes the 8th round. That concludes the crocheting of the lace trim. Next, attach the lace to the starting position of the egg cup. Here, I'll demonstrate the positioning with a small sample. Ensure the right side of the fabric faces out. Align the starting position of the lace trim with the starting position of the egg cup. Approximately align them. Then roll it up, left side on top, right side on bottom. Now, let's show. Here, use a glue stick with a straight needle to secure it. If you have a hot glue gun at home, insert the glue stick into the glue gun and preheat before using. If you don't have one, you can use the inner flame of a lighter to melt the glue stick for securing. You can start by securing the beginning position. Then secure it step by step. Pay attention. At the wrapping area, right side on bottom. Lace position. You can all adjust according to your preference. Dot a little bit. Slightly secure it. After securing, the lace border is finished. Up to this point, the lower part has also been explained. Next, let's learn how to make the upper part. It consists of a cover, expression, ice cream ball, small flowers, chocolate sticks, blueberries, cream and ears. Let's first learn how to crochet the cover, starting with section 1, section 2, section 3, and decorative strands are included. First, crochet section 1, then, crochet sections 2 and 3, along section 1. After completion, embroider the decorative strands. Section 1 uses the chain ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. The new stitch technique used is the invisible single crochet 2 stitches together. Now, let's show. First, crochet the corresponding number of chain stitches. Then connect with the first chain stitch. Pick up the half double crochet from above. Join with a slip stitch. That completes the starting chain. Now let's move on to the first round. Make 1 beginning chain. Then, work 12 single crochets into the large space of the magic ring. Be sure to weave in the yarn tail while crocheting. If you can't find the right stitch here, you can mark it for reference. After completing, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. That completes the first round. Next, continue following the form. Crochet all the way down to the 8th round. After finishing, let's move on to the 9th round. First, work 5 single crochets. Then, make 1 invisible single crochet 2 stitches together. Insert your hook into the front loops of the next 2 single crochets, on the left side one by one. Now there are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, draw through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and draw through. That completes 1 invisible single crochet 2 stitches together. Use this method for crocheting. The gaps between stitches will be smaller. Next, continue referring to the pattern. Work this round completely. After finishing, slip stitch. Pull tight. This completes the 9th round. After finishing, complete the last round as well. Do not cut the yarn after crocheting. Enlarge the loop. Or place a marker on the loop. That concludes section 1. Next, let's learn how to crochet section 2. Start with the first round. You will need to join a new yarn for this round. Refer to the chart. This round involves crocheting the half loops that are close to both the 9th and 10th rounds. Because the yarn is special, I will explain using cotton yarn here. The braid closer to you is the loop from the slip stitch. The braid farther away from you is the stitch from the 9th round. For this round, crochet the half loops that are close to both the slip stitches and the stitches. When you actually crochet, if you can't find the right position, you can pick one strand from the slip stitch and one strand from the back. Just pick and crochet about 2 strands. Insert the hook into the 2 strands at the same time. Pay attention, the first stitch of the 9th round is a bit small. Don't miss it, everyone. Make one beginning chain, then pick the corresponding half loops to crochet. After completing, slip stitch. Pull tight. That's how you complete the first round. Next, continue following the form. Finish crocheting the remaining rounds of section 2. After completing, leave a bit of tail and fasten off yarn, then weave in ends. That concludes section 2. Now let's learn how to crochet section 3. Continue crocheting using the yarn tail from section 1. The new stitches used here include E treble crochet, T half double crochet, and F double crochet. Now, let's show. Continue crocheting from the loops of section 1. Pay attention. I will continue demonstrating with a small sample. This round involves crocheting into the remaining half loops of the last round of section 1. Make one beginning chain. Then turn your work over. Crochet the stitches in the curly brackets. The curly brackets indicate a large sequence loop. Let's start with the first group. First, crochet 1 single crochet. Crochet into the half loop of the last stitch in the final round. Next, crochet the stitches in the square brackets. Square brackets mean to crochet in the same position. First, work 1 double crochet. Then, in the same position, work 1 treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert your hook. Pull through. Yarn over again. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. That completes 1 treble crochet. Next, work 1 treble crochet in the adjacent stitch. In the adjacent stitch, crochet the stitches in the square brackets. After completing them, work 1 single crochet. Work 1 slip stitch. Then, chain 6. Then, dowel 3. Which means start at the third stitch from the end. Pick up the back bump of the chain stitch. That's the back of the chain stitch. With one strand of yarn. First work 4 double crochets in sequence. Then continue crocheting along section 1. K means skip stitches. The number after it indicates how many stitches to skip. Here, it means skip a certain number of stitches. Skip 2 stitches here. Then, from the adjacent stitch, crochet according to the form. After finishing, one large sequence is completed. Next, crochet another sequence. After completing it, join with a slip stitch at the beginning. Pull tight. Leave a tail. Hide the yarn tail on the right side of this circle. Finally, you can use a glue stick to secure section 3 and section 2. Below, you can finish it on your own. That concludes section 3. Lastly, on the right side of section 2, use the corresponding color yarn to randomly embroider small segments. Now, let's show. Cut about 50 centimeters of the corresponding color yarn. Thread the needle. Secure it first on the wrong side. Then stitch out. Embroider randomly. Below, continue embroidering based on your preference. After finishing, weave in the ends on the wrong side. That's all for this decoration. Up to this point, we've covered the cover. Next, let's learn how to make the expressions. It consists of the nose, eyes, and blush. Let's start with embroidering the nose. Here I'll use the finished product to explain the position first. In section 1, sew 2 horizontal lines in the third round from the bottom. It takes up about 2 stitches. Then, in the roughly middle position, sew a vertical line. It should take up about 2 rounds. The bottom should roughly align with the dent in section 3. The length of the nose segments here can also be adjusted according to your preference. Pay attention when embroidering. The slip stitch position should face the back. Below, I'll demonstrate the method for embroidering. Cut about 30 centimeters of the corresponding color yarn. Take 1 strand from it. And thread it into the sewing needle. Remember, the position of the slip stitch should face backward. First, secure the yarn tail on the wrong side. Then, bring the needle out at the corresponding position to start embroidering. Next, sew the vertical line segment. That completes the nose. After finishing, don't cut the yarn yet. Below, we'll embroider the eyes on both sides of the horizontal segment of the nose. The eyes are embroidered in the 3rd to 4th last rounds. Also, embroider the vertical line segments. The number of line segments is not fixed. An approximation is fine. Now, let's show. Continue embroidering using the same thread from the nose. Keep a distance from the horizontal line segment, about 1 stitch apart. After finishing, if there's extra yarn left, transition the thread to the other side, and continue embroidering. If the yarn tail is too short, you can weave in the ends within the fabric piece, then take a new thread to embroider. Next, everyone can finish this part on their own. That concludes the eyes. Now let's move on to the blush. Embroider it in the second to last round, with 3 stitches apart from the vertical line segments of the nose on both sides. Use the corresponding colors for each side, and embroider 2 slightly angled line segments. Pay attention, the line segments here don't need to be separated into strands. Below, you can complete it on your own. That concludes the blush, and that also concludes the facial expression. Next, let's learn how to make the ice cream scoop. It consists of the main body and decorative strands. The main body uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise starting from the ring. First, everyone refer to the chart. Crochet it according to the form. After crocheting, leave a tail of about 30 centimeters. Then sew it to the beginning position of section 1 on the cover, slightly towards the back and right side for sewing. That is, the side with the expression should face forward. Below, I'll demonstrate the sewing method using a small sample. Before sewing, you can temporarily secure it with a marker. Then thread the yarn tail into the needle. The sewing position on the sample is random. First, stuff it with waste yarn ends for filling. Then sew it together. Insert the ice cream ball through the stitch. For the cover, pick up the surface loops for sewing. Pay attention while sewing. Don't sew through the holes on the cover. When there's a little space left, stuff in a bit more of the waste yarn ends. Make sure it's firmly stuffed. After sewing, tie off and weave in the ends. Next, use the corresponding color yarn to embroider decorative strands on the front of the ball. Then bend it into an arc. Now, let's show. Cut about 30 centimeters of the corresponding color yarn. Hide it well inside the ball. Then pull out the needle, followed by stitching in a little apart. You can roughly bend the arc first. Here, don't take off the sewing needle yet. Bend the yarn into the corresponding arc. And use the sewing needle dipped in a small amount of glue to secure it well. The ending position of the thread here, if it doesn't fit properly, you can take off the sewing needle and reinsert it. Finally, hide the yarn tail well. That's all for the decorative strands. Up to this point, we've finished with the ice cream ball. Next, let's learn how to crochet small flowers. It consists of the main part and the flower core. Start by crocheting the main body. Use the magic ring method to begin. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. Below, please see the demonstration. Take out the corresponding color of yarn. Pull out 2 strands from it. Begin with the magic ring. Then crochet the stitches inside the parentheses. Work this round completely. After finishing, close the loop tightly. Then leave a bit of tail and cut the yarn. This completes the main part of the small flower. Next, we will crochet the flower core. Again, take the corresponding color of yarn. Pull out 2 strands from it. Work 2 chain stitches to begin. Then, in the second to last stitch, work 1 single crochet. In the same position, work 1 slip stitch. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. This completes the flower core as well. Next, assemble the flower core with the main part. Make sure the right side of the flower core faces out. Glue it onto the front side of the main part. Finally, attach the small flower to the ice cream ball. Overlap it slightly with the decorative strands. That concludes the small flower. Now let's crochet the chocolate bar. There are 2 types, long and short. Both consist of a main piece and decorative threads. The crocheting method for the main part is almost identical. The only difference is the number of rounds. Both use the magic ring technique to start. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. Follow the chart to crochet it properly. After completing, leave a yarn tail of about 20 centimeters and cut the yarn. Then embroider the decorative strands. Cut a piece of corresponding color yarn, approximately 50 centimeters long. Secure it roughly inside the main part. Pull the needle out and begin wrapping. At the same time, use a sewing needle with a small amount of glue to secure it. Finally, fix the yarn tail inside the main part properly. This completes the decorative strands. Lastly, use the reserved yarn from the main piece. Sew the chocolate bar onto the ice cream ball. Sew behind the small flower. The longer ones on the left side, the shorter ones on the right side. You can also sew according to your preference. The sewing method is almost the same as for the ice cream ball. Now everyone can sew it up on their own. That concludes the section on the chocolate bar. Next, let's learn how to crochet the cream. We will start from foundation chain and continue crocheting along the starting chain. The new stitch we'll use is the 5 double crochets into the same stitch and crochet together. Now, let's show. Take the corresponding color yarn. First, crochet 4 chains. Then, work into the 4th chain from the hook. Work 1 5 double crochets into the same stitch and crochet together. First, crochet 5 double crochets. Then, drop the loop from the hook. Next, draw the loop through the first double crochet. Push the completed popcorn stitch forward. Then, chain 1 to secure. Continue by crocheting the corresponding number of groups. After finishing, leave a tail of about 20 centimeters and cut the yarn. Sew the cream onto section 1 of the cover next. Attach it on the left side of the ice cream ball. Stick closely to the ice cream ball. Below, I will demonstrate the sewing method. Before sewing, you can use a stitch marker to secure it in place. First, sew 1 stitch at the beginning and end positions to hold it. Then, sew and attach the part of the cream that fits against section 1. After sewing, hide the yarn tail inside the cover. Conceal the other tail end inside the cover as well. That's how you complete the cream. Next, let's crochet the blueberry. It consists of a berry and leaves. Start with crocheting the berry. Use the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise starting from the ring. First, follow the chart to crochet it properly. Pay attention to stuff the waste yarn tails during the crocheting process. After completing, leave about a 30 centimeters tail. Proceed to close the opening. Thread the reserved tail into a darning needle. Then pass through the front loops of the last round one by one. Pull the yarn tail tight. Leave the excess tail for later processing. That concludes the berry section. Next, let's move on to the leaves. We will start from foundation chain. Crochet along the starting chain. Now, let's show. Take out the corresponding color yarn. Start with chaining 3. Then work into the third chain from the hook. Work 1 double crochet. Then chain 1. Turn back and work 1. In this chain, pick up the back loop. Make 1 slip stitch. Then chain 2. Then in the same insertion point as the double crochet, work 1 slip stitch. Finally, leave a 15 cm tail, and cut the yarn. This way, the leaf is completed. Next, attach the blueberry to the cream. Here, you can choose based on your preference, either by using a glue stick to attach it. When gluing, make sure to hide all the yarn tails. First, secure the leaf at the back of the cream. Then, attach the fruit. Below, I will demonstrate the sewing method. First, thread the reserved tail of the leaf into the needle. Then sew it behind the cream. Note that I'm only demonstrating the sewing technique here. The position is not for reference. You can sew 1 stitch on the backside to secure it to the cream. After sewing, hide all the ends inside the cover. Next, everyone sews the remaining 2 leaves. After finishing, sew the fruit onto the cream. Thread the reserved tail of the fruit into the needle. Start with the beginning point facing up. End by sewing the concluding position to the cream. Here, you can also sew 1 stitch to the cover to secure it. After sewing, hide the ends inside the cover, then sew the other fruit as well. That concludes the blueberry. Finally, let's crochet the ears. There are 2 identical ones. Both use the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. First, everyone follow the chart to crochet them. After finishing, sew them onto the front of section 1 of the cover. The shapes of the 2 ears are slightly different. The starting point of the left ear aligns with the starting point of the cover. Then place it naturally, and sew together. For the right ear, the ending position aligns with the 3rd round. Then place it naturally. Sew only the parts that stick to the cover. Below, I will demonstrate using either one of the ears as an example. After closing, thread the reserved yarn tail into the needle. Then sew it onto the cover. Pick up the surface loops of the cover and sew them together with the ear. After sewing, tie off the yarn tail and hide it. That's how you sew one ear. Everyone sews the other ear in the corresponding position as well. That concludes the ears. Finally, according to your preference, apply blush to the designated area. Then assemble the upper and lower parts together. Take the drawstring of the lower part, crochet through the starting chain hole of the upper part. And up to this point, the tutorial for this egg bag is complete. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.